When speaking of TED, four pictures may come to mind. The plushy one, the romantic one, the one we don't talk about, and the nest of motivational speakers. Among all online resources, TED Talks are one of the best you could find, especially in the field of self-development. So here are our top 3 picks for the best TED Talks that will help you improve your self-confidence. Number 3, How to Believe in Yourself by Jim Cathcart.
All the acorns, all the oaks that have ever existed in its line before are encoded in that transfer through.
Jim starts off his speech with the most unusual simile, that of humans being like acorns. It sounds odd at first, but he quickly explains how who we are, our potential, our history, and our mentors all comprise us in a similar fashion as an acorn. The main topic of his speech is oriented around skill, or rather the building of competence through learning. He shares the very words that once inspired him in hopes that they will cause a chain reaction. He puts into perspective just how possible excellence is, how much unused time we have that could be put towards bettering ourselves. Now all that is left to do is learn who we really are, and then compare that person to the person we want to be. We have to nurture our nature. It is an excellent speech, especially for those who are really in a dump and are looking for the motivation to turn their life for the better. Number 2, How to Build Your Confidence and Spark It in Others by Brittany Packnett.
Just steps from our front door. And the living room is a first impression. Represented the sacrifices of generations.
Our next speaker talks about an unpopular truth that not everyone is presented with confidence in the same manner. How we cannot be what we do not see, and yet some are never presented with a model, which is extremely important as confidence may be seen as the third pillar of success alongside resources and knowledge. Outside of presentation, a note also has to be made on how not to extinguish those flames once they are lit, as they tend to be fragile, especially in our adolescence. Brittany packs this point into a story from her perspective as a teacher, how the next generation might be affected even when that may not even be our intention. Confidence needs 3 factors to allow it to thrive: community, permission, and curiosity. If you want to know exactly what she meant by that, you should watch the entire TED Talk. The speech is very inspiring, especially for those who feel that they have not been given an honest chance to be confident because of prejudice, as well as those who want to make sure it doesn't happen to others. Number 1, The Skill of Self-Confidence by Dr. Ivan Joseph.
My son or my daughter wants to come play at your university. What is it that we have to do? What are you looking championship?
Our final speaker talks about how building confidence is a skill, and the key to it all, persistence. He gives multiple examples of how much persistence can aid your self-confidence. How some people, had they given up at the first few obstacles, would never have found their greatness, and within it the self-confidence tied to their craft. Alongside persistence, he features 2 other important aspects: positive reinforcement and perception. Just like in the previous speech, he stresses the importance of our environment, and how we can, through positive reinforcement, make sure that people around us are inspired, opposed to being dragged down. And finally, how our own outlook can actually affect what our environment is feeding us. So even if you are not gaining positive reinforcement, you can take matters into your own hands and even make critics a tool to boost your self-confidence. Ivan is truly a gifted speaker and talks to the audience not as a doctor, but as someone who has been through these issues. He is endlessly charismatic and will tell you what you need to hear while staying at eye level. The links to all the mentioned speeches will be down in the description, so be sure to check out any that sparked your interest. What did you think of these TED Talks? Have you found the motivation to turn your life for the better? Be sure to let us know down in the comments, as well as linking this video and subscribing so you never miss another step towards better self.